everyone. Welcome to Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono webinar. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So nice to see many of you from different countries and different time zones. Before we start our webinar, always thank universe for giving us this great opportunity. And Dr. Sweta Singh, our Chief Administrator, will start the session.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sweta Singh, Ka Chief Administrator, welcomes our respected speakers, Chairman and CEO Kavita Ma'am, Ka volunteers and all the attendees to Ka webinar. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce Ka Homeopathy Study Group to all of you. Ka Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono was organized and founded by homeopath and humanitarian Kavita Kuknur, President and CEO of Kavita Holistic Approach, Ka. This study group is intended to be an offering from Kavita to the homeopaths around the globe, sharing goodwill and solid clinical work within the classical model are foundational principles for the Ka. Ka's mission and vision are very unique to inspire young homeopaths, mentor, provide excellency for educational purposes using holistic approaches via webinars, which are based on principles of classical homeopathy, and provide professional continuing educational homeopathic credits for practitioners. We provide merit certificates for spreading the light of homeopathy around the globe. Dr. Kavita is a member of Kevin Friendly Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps to serve poor people in greater needs in India. She is nationally board certified by Council for Homeopathic Certification CHC and ECHINA CPD provider and serves as the associate editor of Homeopathic Heritage. She is the recipient of Martha Ullman Community Service Award by National Center for Homeopathy and Best Entrepreneur Award from Dr. N. Linga Raju, Principal of JSPS Homeopathic Medical College, Hyderabad, India. TANA, Telugu Association of North America, a prestigious organization, honored and awarded her for selfless homeopathic humanitarian services at Ladies' Night Out on October 2022, Michigan. Also, Dr. Kavita received the prestigious Legendary Homeopath Award with joint hands of Honorable Health Minister Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, Senior MLA Mr. Harbhajan Singh Chima, ex-Director Homeopathy, Government of Uttarakhand and Chairman of HomeoCure and Research Institute during National Homeopathic Seminar, Homeopathy, the Future Medicine at Kashipur on 21st August 2022. Dr. Deepak Sharma, Ka volunteer, Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Sharma, and myself, the Ka team were also recognized and presented with Legendary Homeopath Award at the ceremony. We are proud to announce that Dr. Kavita was honored as the Woman of the Year 2023 from prestigious organization NATA, North American Telugu Association, USA. Dr. Kavita was also honored by renowned DTA Executive Committee on Mother's Day at Michigan, USA with DTA Community Service Award 2023. We are extremely happy and proud that we celebrated 12 years of her book, Beyond the Limits, A Challenge to Prove Oneself. And in January 2022, we launched her ebook, A Dose of Spirituality with Kavita, in presence of honorable guest of speakers, American Institute of Homeopathy President Dr. Alex Becker and Council for Homeopathy CHC President Dr. Sheetal Tiwari at our Ka webinar. At Ka's second annual celebration, our honorable guest of speaker, Dr. Jawahar Shah, Chairman of Enlightenment Education, launched audiobook and hard copy of her second write-up, A Dose of Spirituality with Kavita. We are delighted to share that on January 23rd, our spirituality book has completed its 1 year, and we have donated over $1,500 to 10 to 15 charities, which we have also listed on the website. Dr. Kavita donated the proceedings of the books through Ka Study Group platform to various charitable organizations and homeopathic association. To name a few, Kevin Friendly Foundation, CHC, DHMA, JSPS College, VT Seva, NCH, etc. Interested ones can reach us for the details at kastudygroup@gmail.com. Purchase link will also be shared. As of now, we have over 350 plus recordings on professional webinars related to homeopathy, health-related topics, and inspirational talks available on our channel, Kavita Kukno. This webinar is moderated by me and it is being recorded as we speak, and we will take question at the end of the webinar. We will also post jot form in Zoom webinar chat at the end of the webinar. Please fill the form to receive your certificate. If you're kindly mute yourself and turn your video off for better connection. So let me introduce our honorable speaker to all of you. We have with us an educationalist and as well as well-known practitioner of homeopathy, Dr. M.K. Sahani. He was elected unanimously chairman of the Education Committee of Central Council of Homeopathy, Government of India, New Delhi. Dr. M.K. Sahani has been serving the Central Council for Homeopathy for the last 22 years as elected member. He was member of the various committee as well as chairman of the Homeopathic Literature Committee. His long journey in teaching accumulated as vast storehouse of information, finally elevating to the authorities level of professor. With his deep interest in homeopathic philosophy and ambition to visualize in practice, he mastered in repertory, materia medica, and homeopathic philosophy. He's the chairman of Research Institute of Sahani Drug Transmission and Homeopathy at Patna, and he will be speaking up on homeopathic approach in the cases where mind has dominating role in maintenance of disease condition. So welcome, sir, to CAR platform. And we look forward to great learning from you, sir.
Thank you.
Am I audible? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are audible. Thank you very much for your
Thank
nice
you, sir.
introductions and giving me an opportunity to be the part of this webinar.
Thank you, sir.
And I have been listening and heard about this organization long back and willing to participate also. And thanks to Dr. Yashika who introduced me for this seminar. It is glad that your organization is doing a lot of job, and it is only on the voluntary basis. It is very nice thing, and it is very, very rare. I say very rare because many of the people, they are self-centered, but it appears that your organization is not self-centered. They are looking for the society, for the mass, and benefit of the universal development efforts. And I wish you all to keep it up. Okay, so keep it up. Try to follow the same things. Some message are there that the voice is not clear. Do you feel that my voice is not clear?
So yes, it is a little low.
Let me adjust my mic.
We can't hear you properly. Yeah.
Now you are able to listen to me.
No, sir, it's not that audible.
Okay. I will move my. Now you are available. Now it is okay.
No, sir, it's little low. It's not audible.
Let me try.
Sir, please check with the headphones once volume full hai or not.
I'm not aware of this. I'm calling someone.
Yeah, just disconnect it once with the laptop and connect it once again.
Or you can just go without headphones.
Yeah, without headphones. Actually, sir is more comfortable with headphones, I think.
Headphones. Okay.
Yeah, but he has removed.
So
Sir,
you're-
please remove the cable of headphones. You're not audible.
Now you are audible. I am audible.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. It's
Perfect.
little
Perfect.
better. Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
so, thank you.
Now you can
Yashika.
proceed with, yes, sir.
But I am of the old generation, and I have very little idea about this new technology. Let me see.
No problem, sir.
Today I'm going to the topic, I talked with Dr. Yashika, what I should talk. She said of your choice. But my choice is basically philosophy and the repertory. And so I feel that it will be better that I could speak about the impact and importance of the mind. And this importance of the mind, because mind is the only thing that has got the controlling effects on all our body, including our diseases. So this is important thing that we have to think about. Let me share my PPT now. I'm just looking on sharing my PPT here. Can you see my? Can everyone see my PPT right now? Uh, my PPT is visible to you all. Can anyone reply me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
my
It's visible, sir.
my topic is mind, the ruling factor for the disease conditions. This topic I selected only because I am basically looking for the and practicing. My practice is dependent, giving importance to the mental symptoms. Whatever symptoms, whatever patients comes to us, it is essential that we should. I can give you a very small example of a case of injury. A boy who had fallen and broke his hand, and I was called to give some homeopathic medicines also. Then I saw that boy and I asked her, what is the problem? He said, the only reply that came from him is that nothing, sir, nothing wrong. I said, are you okay? He said, I'm quite okay. So no problem with me. You don't have the pain? No, little bit it is there, but it is normal. So now, and you can imagine what the immense pain one have when the fractured lips. So when the pain, too much problems are there and you are not feeling the pain, the sensation is not there. I searched into the repertory and I got a rubric. Well said. There is a rubric in repertory. Well said. The patient says that he is well in spite of that problem. In spite of the problem. And the ruling medicines that was there were the Arnica Monte. And I prescribe the Arnica Montana. Usually we also prescribe for the, but what I, by giving this example, only I want to say that this, if I would have looked for the Arnica Montana without considering this, these aspects, it might not have a good effects because there are so many medicines under the injury groups. And after the fractures, bone fractures, so many medicines are there. But this was dominating factor. In Arnica montana, you can see that patients and Arnica montana is also a plant which grows on the high hills, on the in the high altitudes, like in our India we have it is found in the Kalimpong and also the Sikkim and in Nepal at the Kathmandu. And at that high altitude, this beautiful flower of Arnica montana is there. and people used to plant it as a garden in there. But why this plant is growing there and not in our land? Because this plant has got the feelings, sensation that nothing will happen to me. Then in spite of living in the dangerous conditions, suppose I go to the hills, I go to the high mountains, what will happen? I will have the, always I will remain fearful of falling down. So no fear for them. They have always, they are always in the danger, and they have learned living with the danger. So this is important things that we can think about this. So I prescribed the Arnica montana, the patient recovery was very fast. So with this example, I would like to uh, give some view on the mind, the ruling factors of the mind. It is there is a very good quotations. Ayasa Media. It is not the bruise of the body that hurts. What what I told just now, it is not the body. It is not the body that gets hurt, but we get hurt mentally first. Whatever pain, whatever type of the problems are there, if you even with the slightest indigestion, even with the slightest uh, discomfort, what from where this discomfort comes, from where this restlessness comes, from where this anxiety comes, and they are all indicative, they are all expressed at the mental level. So it is not the body that is important which is getting hurt, but it is the hurt and the scar that is created on the mind. This is beautiful things that we should keep, and this is very useful for all practitioners to think like this. Now, understanding the life, how you can understand the life, it begins with understanding the pattern. This is beautiful quote from Fritz Capra. Understanding the life, you can understand. And for the holistic concepts of medicine, as we see in homeopathy, it is basically because of the totality of the symptoms. We speak about the totality of symptoms. We speak about the complete wholeness of the symptoms, but how this wholeness can come? How we can have an understanding about the whole life situation. We spend a lot of time taking the history, an entire time or is there only to find out the relative features for the life which is standing there from past to the present and his expectations for the future. These are the situations. There are the different milestones. They have the effect on the mind, and they are whether they are remembered or not remembered, but they get impacted on the mind, and they brings a great changes in the personality. So this is very important that we have to understand the pattern and how it happened. How it happened. It is very important for us. So body achieves what the mind believes. That means what is there in the body. What is the storehouse? It is the biggest storehouse. What? Of the mind. And where is your mind? Where is your mind? Mind is not there in the brain only, not in the head only. It is on the every cells of your life. Every cells of your life. Because you might have about the structure of the cell, there is a mitochondria, which is the information center. Information center. So every part of the body has got the information center. So I say mind is not only in the head, mind is scattered throughout your body. So we say this body is the archive. It is the place where the mind dwells. Dr. Henneman has rightly mentioned it is the region gifted mind. Region gifted mind. In the ninth chapter we say region gifted mind. Mind, what is mind? Mind has the ability to reason, ability to inquire, ability to make analysis. This is the impact for the region gifted mind. And this region is the region gifted mind, and where it lives on the problem. Mind is always at the problem. So mind is always at the problem. That means what? The mind is the factor that is able to help you with knowing the problem. And what is the problem? And what is the nature of the problem? What is the intensity of the problem? Even if you don't have the pathological diagnosis. Even if the doctor don't find any pathological symptoms, the patient is suffering, and that suffering is indicative of something is going on inside the body, which is invisible in nature, and it may precipitate after sometimes to become visible. So this is the aspect that I want to say. Now, what makes unique and unrepeatable individual? Now, this biologically, we are all provided with the biological code, and this biological codes, it has the ability to express own story. We have the ability to explore own story. So we are the master, we are the creator, we are the everything for our life. What we have inherited from the past, they are only they may have the influence, but what we think in the present, this is more important. So sharing it through narrations give coherence of the information. What comes? The mind has got the three layers: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. And within the consciousness, you have the understanding about the present features. And unconscious is the storehouse for your, I say that a memory. It is the storehouse, past memory that you have stored in your mind right from your birth. And this is and they act as a motivational system, creating an alternative hierarchy in the body. So this is the unique things that we are individual. We as an individual are unrepeatable. We were not. No persons was existing like us in the past, and no will exist in the future also. So we are only in the present, and this present is not going. So there is no duplicate of any individual born on this planet. Any living creatures born on the planet. I don't say only the human being, but any creatures which are created on this planet, it is the individual, and they are unique, and they are most distinct in themselves. This is the first understanding about the life. So what we have to do, we have to find, and how you can know the uniqueness, how you can identify the uniqueness of the pattern. It is only because you can have the identity through expressed through the mind. So mind is the window. It is the window that gives you the information, that provides you the necessary outlet for expressing yourself. This is important things that we have. Now, what is our element? What is the constituents of our life? There we say that if human life or any life is a miniature form of the universe. Whatever things are available on this planet, it is within ourselves. That means we all have the same element. Me, you, all, and all. Everyone has got the same element. Same element of the hydrogen from that is mentioned in the periodic table. Same elements. 108 are known, and there are still many more unknown elements are there. And all elements are present, and you cannot say it can never be denied the absence of anyone. But what is the uniqueness? In spite of this elemental presence, the alignment is very important. We all have the different alignment. So it is the analytical, it is the alignment of the elements that makes us a unique person. So this, I will never understand why every organ in body gets supported and sympathy when he ill, except your brain. Elements available have their limitations, and each one born are unique. Even no twins are alike, but even no twins are alike. What we have to do as a physician? What is our responsibility? What is our behavior should be there? We have to find out the uniqueness. We have to find out who he is and how you can identify, not by knowing the body, not by knowing the materials that are there, physiological things are that is there, but by the expressions, the mental expressions only, because it is the window of your life. Now, unique characteristics are very much individual for every lining organizations of the planet. And every living sorry, it is not lining, it is living organization. And this is the unique characteristic feature. And among the same genus, all species at physical level represent similar chemicals and physical orientation, yet they differ from each other at the individual species. Now you go to in a crowd of the animals like your cow and lot of the. Will it be possible to identify which one is which? And you cannot distinguish by the physical body, but by their barking, by their voice, by their listening and observation, you can say, yeah, this is this. And also this among the finding out the individual persons, it is only through the expressions that the man makes. Number of elements have limitations. Some are known and some are unknown and yet to be discovered. But we observe this infinite variations from person to each person, which is ever-changing process. So I told you, no persons are your type of the persons which was available in the past, and no one will be. In Hindi we call it na bhuto na bhavishyat, not neither in the past nor in the future. Your type of the person. So you are the unique creator on this personality, and this uniqueness is the soul for the practice of the homeopathy. Finding out the uniqueness of the person is the sole things that we have to think for that. Our bodies are our garden. This is a beautiful quotations from William Shakespeare. Our body are our garden, and our wills are our gardener. What we desire, we have the desire to this, and we have the dislike. So what we are guided by we are maintaining our life like a gardener, like a guardian through our wills. So mind has got the faculty of emotions, wills, and understanding, intellect, emotions and understanding. Intellect and understanding are the output that is modified by the wills, that is the desire, and this is that's why we say our wills are our gardener, and body is the garden, and your garden, in that garden we have the presentations, and the plants or the flower or whatever you see in the garden, it is only the way the gardener has planted them and cared about them and nurtured about them. This is the important things that we have to understand. And mind is the perfect master. Your body is a willing instrument. What is body? It is simply a willing instrument. And mind provides a potential, body provides the life one. So the potentiality is there in the mind. It's such a vast thing that you cannot imagine. And what is the body? Body is like an instrument, like a driver driving a car. A driver can take the car anywhere, and he can do whatever it can do. But what the car will have to do? It has to obey the instructions of the driver. So mind is the driver of your car. Mind is the driver of your instrument. Mind is the driver of your body. Friends, observations for life. How we observe the life. How we see the life. We don't see the persons directly with the mind, and we don't see the persons directly with the spirit. There is no soul is seen, no mind is seen, but the first things that we see is the body. The first things that become visible is the body. So from body, we from this visible part we go to the invisible. So this is because it is the platform. On the platform you are standing, and if you standing on the platform, you have to look for the who is there standing there, and you will find there are the invisible, there are certain things. Then it is rightly has been said that the life cannot be explained. Life cannot be explained only through the body, what is present there. It has, there are something, the visible area and there are invisible area. So both constitute the visibility, and invisibility constitute the mind and constitute our life, visible and invisible. And mind is in between the visible and invisible. Mind is in between the visible and invisible. This is important thing that we have to understand. Now, man has created an image of everything that comes in contact in our life. So whatever is there, what we do, we and what type of the persons we become, that's how we are affected, how we have to. So we say that we have own creation for the image of God in our own caste. Our caste is there, which has been provided by the God, but this caste is modified by our mind, our willingness, our emotions, our state of the learning. Mankind has realized nature of exploring what it is. And right from the beginning, it is not a new thing that we are exploring today. It is explored, it has been right from the beginning of the civilizations, when there was nothing to be known, and at that time the people were wondering why we are here, where we are here, and what we have to do. Why we are here, where we are here, and what we have to do. What is the purpose? And this was the realization uh, that was observed there. So observations and which restrict our belief. What is the limitation? That is what our mind is, our brain. It has got the capacity, and it depends on your understanding. It depends on how much you have enhanced your mind, how much it has been expanded or input of the information and knowledge. So first, subsequent learning helps you in modifying your life process. So mind-body connections. The mind-body connections is the link between the person's thought, attitude, behavior, and their physical state. This is the connectivity between the mind and the body. So this mind is connected, and it always remains on the mind. Our Dr. Henneman has rightly mentioned that whatever things happen on the mind, it can be felt at the body, and whatever things happen at the body, it felt at the body. So it is interconnected, and communications goes mind, and this is the routine phenomena for our life. The mind-body connection is an important component of the holistic medicine. Our emotions often affect the way we feel physically. We even have words to describe this belief, this heartache, and the energy. So this connectivity, that is a balance. And our health, what is our health? This is the balance, this mind and the body. How they remain together. And because one is affecting the other, that means it is a life is a equilibrium. Life is a balance. And this balance you have to understand, because if you have to see a symptoms on the body, you have to see what is the counterpart symptoms in the mind. Suppose you are getting a pain in your abdomen, you have to see what is happening at the mind, what is the counterpart of this pain in the mind. This counterpart is very important. What is happening at the mind? This is very important. And if you are having that something, you are thinking something, then you have to see what you are. I will give you some examples later on. What are the impacted of our anger, of our fear, or of our rage, whatever they are. Body's command center, or the human supercomputer. So mind is like a supercomputer, and mind is a remarkable and complex organ, but the mind is not a machine operating separately from the rest of the body. The two are deeply intertwined. So mind and body are intertwined together. How thoughts and emotions affect our body? Now this is have you heard sensation feelings that when you are stressed, you are feeling that you are getting constipated, or you are getting headache, or you are having the sweating, because the adrenal and cortisol, known as the stress hormone, they have their effect on the body, and they are supposed to give us the short-term energy boosters known as the adrenal rush, so we can get out from the dangerous situations. So releasing the stress is possible by when you realize, and at that time adrenaline will get discharged to keep bring a balance with you. So releasing the hormone too frequently can have negative effects on the body. Or suppose you are getting too much stress repeatedly becoming anger, repeatedly having any depressed condition. So depression is also creating the stress. So what it do? It weakens your immunity system. It has got its effect on the digestive system, and healing becomes more slow. Healing process becomes more slow. So do you see the effect of the stress which has been caused at the mind, not at the body? The stress is always at the body, and that fatigueness that you feel, it is because of the fatigue states that has been created at the body. So connection between mind between stress and health, it has harder to imagine that the way we think and way we behave can have effect on our health. Negative thinking pattern assumes the worst. Jumping to conclusion, self-criticism can make it more difficult to deal with the healing problem, health problem. The negative inner voice can have serious health consequences, and those types of thought patterns are difficult to break. So, what you think have got what we have, they have got the body. On when you have to find out, explore the mind and body connection. So, even the segment prior, the psychoanalysis movement, psychologists have argued why the mind and body is a crucial in psychology. The reasoning for this is stem from the idea that physical conditions affect the health, mental health, and the mental health affects the physical health. In homeopathy, also Dr. Henneman also holds the belief that mind and body are interconnected and they influence as observed in organ and the body. So mind houses the spirit and motivation function. So this is the relationship. Mind is the houses of the house for the spirit and motivation to the function, and body holds the physical health and ability. So it is the master. So yin and yang. It is like that. This concept has to be understood first. So brain and the body are integrated. Now, what do you say brain? Where is your brain? It is white cell, white matter, or gray matter? No, it is the integrated part that is available on whole of your life system. Our medical approach to mind-body integration is most concerned with treating patients shallowly, not treating symptoms without considering the cause. Now, what happens when you don't consider the region? Why the pain is there? If you don't have the integration system, it should not be called as a holistic medicine. It is the universal system of the medicine which is not going to give you the cure. You can only have the palliative effect, or you can only have the suppressive effect. But the curative effect comes only when we have the whole understanding of the. So mind and body. The mind and body medicines, the mind and body are not seen as a separate functioning entity, but as one functioning unit. The mind and emotions are viewed as influence of the body, as the body turns influence the mind. So vice versa is there. One is affecting the other, and other is affecting the other. This is a continuous phenomenon that is going on throughout your life, and it never stops even when you are asleep. During the sleep also, your mind is active and controlling your body. And during the awakened state, also you are like this. And mapping emotions. Now, how you can identify the emotions? The most basic emotions are associated with the sensation of elevated activity in the upper chest area, likely correspond to changes in the breathing of the heart. You know, when you are too much emotional, like you are too much getting angered or fear, what feels you have? The effect you will see that it is coming on the chest, and your heart rate is getting increased, palpitations, and you also have the breathlessness now. You are not physically tired, but mentally tired, and mentally tired makes you the emotion. So this is the mental thing. Similarly, sensation in the head area were shared across all emotions, reflecting probably both psychological, physiological changes in the facial area as well. Now, if you have the pain, even if the pain is there, you can identify that this man has got the pain. This is possible because the pain, the patient may try to hide their pain, but it is expressed to the body language, to the facial expressions, to the mind. So this is for the mapping of the mind, emotions, how you are trying to find it out. Now see, there are certain examples. The effect of the anger, the effect of the anger, that red colors indicate, and you see the meter here. The highest meter is the yellow one. So with the anger, the upper part of the body is affected. With the fear, almost the chest part is affected. And with the disgust, your gut area is, your throat area is affected. And when you are happy, the whole of your things are affected. And you have the pride, you see, it is darkened and it can lower down. And you have the same, or at that time also your mind is there. And when you have the when you have the you are neutral, this is the neutral state of the body. Then anxiety, love, depressions, contempt, pride, shame, and envy. We all have got that different area of the body which is impacted. So what I say, that the impact of these are the mental emotional phenomena, anger, fear, disgust, all are the part of the emotions, anxiety, love, depressions, contempt, pride, shame, envy. They are the part of the emotions and different form of the emotions, and basically the negative emotions. So these negative emotions have got impact on the body. These are the part of the body where we have the suffering. If you are having a problem in your liver, if you have a problem in your heart, if you have a problem in your kidney or any part of the body, you have to you can identify that where is the mind of these persons. So physical impact of positive and negative emotions. The happiness, if you are happy, the happiness is one of filled with the whole body with activity. Not happiness, your everything is okay. So okay means it is relaxed. This might indicate a sense of physical readiness, that energy, happy, and heightened communications between the body and the mind. We usually feel secure when we are happy, but and in this state, we devote all our attention to experience ourselves as a part of pleasure rich around us. And love. What is love? And the positive and negative. This is another standout emotions that fills the body with activations, stopping just short of the legs. And love is often intertwined with the physical desire, so unsurprisingly activates sensation in the reproductive system organs more strongly than the happiness. So you see the impact. The emotional focus of the love is both object of affections and intensity of emotion in the subjective self. Thus, activation is intense around the head and chest, but more difficult to notice in the lower extremity. So, with the love, what is the main center is, where is the mental center? It more, it get have got the stimulations for the reproductive organ. It has got the stimulations for the emotional organ. Then pride. What is the pride? Emotions flood in the head and the chest area with a very intense sensation. Pride. Everything there is the mind. And the pattern activations correspond to the focus of the self and only self, with resources and awareness drawn inward away from the extremity. Although surprise follows a similar pattern of strength of the activation is much less pronounced as is resource draw inward to prepare the body to face the danger. Because surprise can be positive, negative, or neutral, the body experience in the way they affect reflect uncertainty about the treating area. Anger. The anger stands alone in the as a negative emotion, and the most intense activations, particularly the head, chest, and the hand. The angry people, you can see with the anger, the body is trembling, teeth is grinding, having the lot of the sweats are there. So anger body prepares itself to conflict by focusing attention on the resources on the part of the body that might have to act. When we picture anger or a time when we felt enraged, many people describe an overwhelming desire to hit someone. This alignment, the image scans before the sensation flood in our hand. Now, fear. This is a fear has got something a withdrawal sensation. Your fight and flight sensations will be. Body has to get prepared for the fight and flight things. So it is the prepared and alertness, and evolutionary fear required immediate thought. Do I decide to run away from this predator or fight to the death? So it is the alertness things are there. The body is heightened, body is heightened, ready to do, ready to act. I feel that I can stand my ground with this frightening dog, or should I flee? Does it make sense that we experience fear with a rush of sensation in the head? Now the disgust. Disgust pull the resources of the body even more slightly into the core of the body. And this emotion causes the body to prepare to expel any noxious substance it has ingested. Hence, the focus of activations along with the digestive tract. With the distract, your digestive tracts are always affected. When we experience disgust toward other human, perhaps we feel concentration of sensation in our vital organ as a natural protective response to repulsions. And shame and contempt. Although shame and contempt have similar pattern of activation, contempt stimulates less activations in the chest. And this may be because the focus of contempt is outside of the self and the judgment of others. Shame, on the other hand, focuses on the sense of personal failure and judgment of yours. Also reproaching and this type of the symptoms you can see the difference and reproaching what you happens with your body. It has got the depressive effects on your extremity, on the hands and the feet. You do not work properly. And the anxiety, it is a form of the long stress, where mind is always expecting some problems. Mind is always expecting some problem. And with this expectation, the panicky state is there, and there is a feeling of the tightness in the chest. Your heart rates are increased, and lungs are also increased. So the delivery of the oxygen, anxiety, delivery of the oxygen becomes lowered, and the feeling of the purposeless. And depressions, this is the most noticeable map of the negative emotion. It stimulates no activation in any part of the body and lower activation in the extremity. In the state of depression, it is difficult to connect with the active self and outside world. Sadness does not suppress feeling in the head and chest and often contribute to a general lack of agency activity. So emotions adjust not only our mental but our physical body also. And awareness of corresponding body changes may subsequently trigger the conscious emotional sensations such as feeling and the. So self-awareness is very important. And if you try to make your patient aware about that, that can bring a drastic change in your treatment process. But what is mindfulness? In our ancient philosophy, that the Buddha has spoken about the mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool. That means mindfulness, that mind is complete. And most of the time when you have got the negative anger, negative emotion, the mind is divided into two parts. And only the unified part, when everything is okay, the mind is full. That means when you are living in the present, your mind is complete. Suppose you are living in the past, the mind is thinking about something that had happened in the past, where your body is mind, you are living in the present, and about the future. So mind travels to the future, and you are staying on the past. So mind becomes divided when you are in the past or in the future. But when you are in the present, when you are living with the situations, with the sensations that you are having, so you have the mind is complete. And completeness of the mind is the only factor that can make you a very healthy person and have a healthy experience. The problem. So all health disorders, mental health, stress-related cancer, cardiovascular disease, cancer have got a better treatment with the concept of the mindfulness. Mindfulness is characterized by dispassionate, non-evaluative, and sustained moment-to-moment awareness of perceptible mental state and process. This includes continuous immediate awareness of physical sensation, perception, affects the state of the thoughts and imagination. So mindfulness that I try to mention, because when we try to make the patient to live with the present situations, to understand the problem and try to learn with living with the living with the problem, I can. Yes, try to live with the problem. Suppose I realize that I have the cancer, but if I realize with this cancer how I can live, and this understanding will help you in remove. I have seen a patient who was declared to die within few months, and he lived with our treatment, with our system of the medicine for more than 20 years without any problem, with little some pain, sometimes some normal problem, situational problems were there, but they lived for that. And it is said that when a cancer patient, they cannot survive the expected symptom for a long time. So it is degenerative process. Cancer, what is cancer? It is degenerative process, and this degenerative process can be regenerated into the active process and you will have a better presentations of the life. So mindfulness is important aspect that we must have to think about that. And mindfulness knowing what is happening and why it is happening without reference. So it is the completeness of the mind. What is happening? And awareness and your sensations. So when you have the sensation, so if you bring your mind, if you are able to manage the patient to become mindful, you are going to treat this patient completely. And you are trying to make the patient realize the problem. What is happening? Yeah, I am suffering from the cancer. I am suffering from this cardiovascular disease. Yes, it is there. Now, but how I can live with that? And what we say, the problem is a part of the life. So if the more you try to avoid the problem, the more problem will come to you. But when you try to learn living with the problem, you can manage the problem and the problems are solved. This is the thing that we have experienced in our day-to-day life. When we are trying to evade or escape from the problem will become more problematic. But when we are trying to live with the problem, understand with the problems goes away or it is reduced. So this is the completeness. This is the feature of the completeness of the mind that makes you very to feel a healthy sensation. What do you think about the health? What you say about the health? It is the state of the mind. It is the state of the life where you don't have any type of the thing. And you don't have the feelings about what money you have to earn, where you are living, what is the climate, and it is a complete feelings of the that which is the tranquility, serenity, and the blissful moment for the life. So mind-body integrations technique, it requires mindfulness, meditations, relaxation, biofeedback, yoga, Tai Chi, oil and homeopathy. I say homeopathy. Homeopathy because homeopathy incorporates mindfulness, meditation, relaxation, biofeedback, yoga, and everything. Our master Dr. Henneman has tried to bring this homeopathic therapy as a holistic therapy, a mind-body integrated therapy. So you have, when you are trying to treat a patient, until you and unless you take the symptoms of the mind, unless you have the priority for the mind, the things are not going to be solved. I say not solved. Even you cannot. But I have seen living with the patients, so many patients, and up to this age, the problems are solved. Only those patients get healed who have understood this phenomena and whom I have tried to make them convinced under this phenomena. Yes, there are many people with it, and you need to, what is curability? Curability is only that how much the patient is convinced about their life. And what is incurability? How much the patient is not able to understand the problem. So understanding is a very important thing. And homeopathy, what the homeopathy do it triggers in this minute dosage. You just can imagine what type of the homeopathic medicines are there. They are so minute, so dynamic, it can, is it affecting your body? No, it is affecting your soul, it is your energy plane. And when energy plane is affected, it tries to unify everything together so that you can get a better impression. So now I am going to describe a case. This case is of a dysmenorrhea. Dysmenorrhea. I call it this case. I remember this case because I call it the love for the perfumes. A case of dysmenorrhea. This is. I'm just trying to what I have said. I am trying to make it through this case. This is a case that I took, and this case only I remember, but the patient that I saw in my clinic, I never thought that this patient is a patient. I thought that she might have come to me only as to get some other works. So this lady of 35 years age entered my clinic for the consultation for her complaints of severe dysmenorrhea. As she had entered, the whole of my chamber was filled with the fragrance of perfume, and I was wandering around the look from where this around to look for the patient, thinking that she must be an attendant. I never imagined at that time that this is a patient. I thought that this is the attendant and patient may be coming somewhere. So I asked her, where is the patient? So she said, no, I am the patient. And then only I realized that she is the patient. So she told me, and then I realized it. So as she entered my clinic, we observed her to be nicely dressed with a smiling face and good manner. It appeared as if she had no problem, and she came as an attendant to only, and she spoke so gently. So this is the personality of the patient's personality. He was so gentle, so well behaved, with a smiling face, and everything was there. And this is the things that I observed. And when I tried to go into the life history of her, she was a graduate and now housewife with two children. She was actively looking up the household work, and at the same time she was engaged with the society activity, clubs, and entertainment program. So she was and she was very ambitious but could not pursue on it as marriage, which took place while she was still a student. As husband was well posted in service, they dropped the idea of getting a job. So what is there? What happened? She wanted to have the job, but now she is not having the. She surrendered or submitted to the situations only. Now the present complaints, she was having acute pain in hypogastria region of abdomen 1 or 2 days before the onset of the mean. This is the problem when it came out. Patient was acute cutting and she was confined to bed and had to take painkillers. During the mens, pain was slightly reduced, yet continued till whole length of the period. After the mens was over, she was relaxed. She was active otherwise and had no complaints. She told the pain was most depressing state and concerned what will happen with her in the next future. And she used to get some periodical some frontal headache sometimes, and have which was worse from the sunlight. Now, the past complaints, the menarche was unnoticed and had no other complaints. Only after the first childbirth as a cesarean, this pain is persisting. And family history, father is now retired old man, service, and no other complaints is there. Mother is an active housewife and some pain in the knees, pain are there. And brother and sisters, she is two brothers and two sisters. She is the third in the serial. She was married at the age of 25. Husband is executive officer in government sector. She had two children and they both are okay. Now, mental state, well, as I told you, she was a well-behaved lady, readiness for adopting the new life. Her memory was active, rarely get angered, but when it came, she behaved violently. And fear of darkness, she liked social activity, music and traveling was her favorite choice. She was formal with the religious belief. She liked fast food and with pungent and spices, and she disliked sweets. Thirst was normal. Stool was often unconstipated because of the changes in the routine. Urine normal after the menstrual discharges. Mucus leukorrhea was coming during the rest of the period. Sleep was normal with vivid dreams. She liked to take bath regularly. Perspiration was normal and she liked the winter season. So this was the picture for this one. And this lady is conscious of the body and the mind, had ambitions but compromised with the situations. Still, compromised with the lively and easily mixed with the society. As she feared of pain, she opted for cesarean birth. No, this is a fear of the pain. That's why she would have given a normal birth, but because of the pain, she opted for the cesarean birth. So, and this when the pain, this menstruation gradually developed after that. Case has no past history of any suffering. So Sora is the dominating feature in this whole case history. Now, rubrics what I took from the repertory was mind, fear, perfume, loves to use perfumes. This is a beautiful rubrics that you can find in your repertory. Mind, travel, desire. This is a cosmopolitan nature. So I took this rubrics as a cosmopolitan nature because Dr. Kent has mentioned this rubric in cross reference with the cosmopolitan, and where cosmopolitan has got no remedy, whatever remedy there in the traveling desire is taken as the conscious. So mind, anxiety, pain from the, and female genitalia, pain, menses before, female genitalia, delivery after, and again she has got the fear for the dark, anger, violent, and she was a communicative lady. Now this is the repertorial sheet that you see here now. You see the medicines, perfume, love of, there are 11 medicines in it, traveling desire, 61 medicines, anxiety, pain from 43 medicines, genitalia, sex, menses before 82, and delivery after complaints 97, fear dark 104, and anger violent 111, and communicative 33. So all this phosphorus, it completed all the symptoms here. Now phosphorus was selected. Usually I prescribe medicines not through the mouth. I transmitted the medicines on 2nd January of that in 2018, phosphorus 0 by was transmitted. On 24th January, menses appeared, pain was less at this time. Then again on 28th February, the next mens appeared, no pains, only uneasiness persisted, which still felt the normal even before this problem. And 26th March, follow up with no pain. Then again, case was followed up for next 6 months. Now she has forgotten about the pain, and we stopped the treatment on 4th of the September. So, see, what is the basis for prescribing the now you see that whole number of the medicines here, and you see that only 11 medicines are there. And so it is, I said that this is one of the eliminating rubrics which is dominating in all throughout the case, because love for the formulation, and it is representing the person. This perfume is representing the person's personality. So this is very important, and that's why I selected this phosphorus, and the patient got well. So typical expressions of the soric phase of phosphorus perfumes in the mind that loves mixing with the other and feeling of cosmopolitan connectivity. In present lifestyle, we can observe many such expressions. We only need to observe minutely. So friend, I am reminded of a beautiful quote. Perfume is the key to our memory. Perfume is the key to our memory. So this quote, I thank you all for giving me a very patience listening. And if you can have any questions, you can right now you can ask, or you can email me to risdts@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me at 943102062. So with this, thank you all for having a patience listening. And with this, I could end my lectures. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an interesting session. It was a great learning with excellent presentation. And if you allow, we can take the questions at the end, as we have one more speaker, our second speaker, who
it
is
is better that you will listen, Yashika, then we can have a questions for the both.
yes, sir. So we welcome our second speaker, who is none other than Dr. Yashika Arora Malhotra. She will be speaking on infertility and homeopathy. So let me introduce her with all of you. She needs, although she needs no introduction, but Dr. Yashika Arora Malhotra, BHMS from NHMC Delhi, MD Home from DKMMHMC Aurangabad, DNHE from IGNU Delhi, achiever of STSH 2015-16 scholarship program organized by CCRH Delhi, speaker at various platforms and took various webinars, admin of various homeopathic groups, and editor of the Homeopathic Heritage, a peer-reviewed journal, and Homeopathy 360 from 2019 to 2023, organizing secretary of Dreams Innovated Homeopaths, DIH, National General Secretary of All India Homeopathic Students and Youth Association, executive member of Afghanistan Homeopathic Medical Association, former chief editor of journal Homeo Miracle and online journal Dam Sparrow, Dr. Bindra's Cancer Homeopathic Healing Center, former president of Homeopathic Medical Association, Delhi State. So welcome, she is one of our CA volunteer. So welcome Dr. Yashika once again on CA platform.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, and now you can start. Yes.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Kavita Holistic Approach Homeopathy Study Group, Dr. Kavita Kukunur, Shweta Singh ma'am, and our whole team for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge on this platform once again. And I'm glad to hear so much about me from you, ma'am, because it's always a privilege, I would say, to get motivation plus plus so much support from our senior homeopaths. So thank you so much, ma'am. And I also congratulate Dr. Sahani sir for such a wonderful presentation. I listened to each and every word. So it was so beautiful and it was such a nice presentation. Thank you so much, sir. I hope everybody would be clear about mindfulness technique and the relation of mind and its importance in the field of homeopathy. So thank you so much. And without wasting any more time, I would like to share my screen and start the presentation. My screen is visible, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So not wasting any more time, the topic for today is infertility and homeopathy. And I am Dr. Yashika Malhotra. We'll be presenting you with the case of infertility. Plus, we'll be discussing what actually homeopathy can do in the field of in cases of infertility. So I've already thanked the group, and it's so much. I'm glad to be associated with Homeopathy Study Group since the very beginning with Shweta ma'am. We both are continuing this since past so many years. So thank you so much. And let's begin now. So it's actually a dream of every parent and every mother, every father, every couple that to become a parent, and it's one of the greatest titles in the world, that is parent, and one of the biggest blessings in the world to have parents to call mom and dad. So I hope I can clear this presentation more now, because being a mother, it feels so privileged today that yes, actually everybody have a every woman, every man who has become a parent has a great feeling, and it is very important for a couple to conceive. And today's topic for this session is infertility. And infertility is a taboo today, if you see, and nobody wants to talk about it, and everybody considers an infertile woman or an infertile couple to and they see it with a very different eyes. So we'll be discussing how homeopathy can help in the field of infertility. So before beginning, let's just clear out that what is infertility. Infertility is a disease of the reproductive system. Of the reproductive system, we have various systems we read in the anatomy and physiology. So which is defined by the failure to achieve a clinical pregnancy after 12 months, that is a year of regular unprotected sexual intercourse. It is not actually the failure to achieve pregnancy after 1 year of marriage, but actually after 1 year of regular unprotected sexual intercourse. That is when we define that a couple is infertile, or a woman is infertile, or a man is having sterility. The prevalence of infertility today is that 7 to 10% of couples suffer from infertility today. And the incidence, as described by the British Medical Journal, it says that if there are about 300 million couples in the fertile age group of 18 to 40 years, the 10% or 30 million couples are infertile. So it's a huge amount, and it's a huge number. So infertility is again a very important topic to be discussed, and the scope of homeopathy, which shows miracles in such cases, we'll be discussing now. And we should not consider it as a taboo, which is actually the presentation of the society today. The causes of infertility, if you talk, it includes the infertility maybe happening to a female or a male. We call it sterility. So when you talk about females, so there are causes like there may be the fallopian tube or the peritoneum, maybe the reasons 20% chances that the cause is fallopian tube or some defect, or if you talk about ovarian dysfunction, it considers ovarian reserves that are ovary, that we call as ovum, the egg which is there. So if it's diminished, then 30% chances are there of if that infertility is the result. Ovulatory dysfunction is 10%, and unexplained reasons you can call as 10%. When you talk about the male factor, the male infertility, it may be caused due to hypogonadism, like the gonads, the male organs are not fine, or the hormones are not being secreted well. The sexual factors, sexual dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, varicocele may be one of the cause, or urogenital infections, or there are unexplained reasons, immune system factors, systemic diseases that may be the cause of infertility. We also should discuss the cause of infertility as the psychological effect, the psychological aspect, the mental aspect, which actually play a very good role when you are dealing with cases of infertility, because the mental cause is actually, in maximum cases, I've seen the mental cause comes up when there are cases of infertility, whether it's especially when you talk about females being infertile, the psychological effect comes up. So psychological effects after infertility in females are usually anxiety, brooding effect, and if they are not able to conceive, they may get sarcastic taunts, etc., from the society. So that leads to suppression, guilt, grief, anxiety, or brooding over troubles or overthinking, etc. When you talk about males, so the psychological effects which come up is non-acceptance, that I am not going to accept that I am infertile or I am sterile. So it's like the males do not accept that they're sterile. They do not even get the test done, or they'll say that the female is having the problem. They may be at guilt, they may be at grief, or again they may have anxiety. Anxiety is the most important factor, which is actually very important when you consider cases of infertility. It may be stress, tension, depression, guilt, grief, self-esteem may be lagged in such patients, or anger may be the result, isolation, and tension, continuous tension may be there. So stress is actually a cause as well as a consequence of infertility. So we should consider it as one of the most important factor when you're dealing with cases of infertility. I'm just giving you a brief idea about infertility and how you can go on with the cases of infertility when you are dealing with cases of infertility. It's a major health issue challenge in the global mass today, and actually conventional medicine, allopathic medications are not completely capable of treating all the cases. Many times if you say, despite of the investigations being normal, nothing is abnormal in the patient, but still the couple is unable to conceive. So it's like you should consider it as a major health issue in the global mass. Global mass, and therein homeopathy comes up, and the role of homeopathy in treating such cases successfully is invaluable. But again, due to less of evidence-based research findings, or the people not being updated about the evidences that doctors are getting, and in such cases it's being taken as for granted. Homeopathic medicines are simple, cost-effective, result-oriented, and being holistic can address these factors. Also, all the factors which we discussed prior, like the causes of infertility in male and females, plus the stress factor also, preventing the ill effects of conventional medicine. Like if you talk about IVF or IVF, if you talk about, people are going for IVF, hysterosalpingography, such difficult techniques. If you talk about, if you talk about such different techniques, they'll be suffering a lot. Females are suffering a lot because of such techniques, wherein if you talk about homeopathy being so simple and very gentle art of healing. So if you give this as a miracle when there are no pathological effect, or when there is some without any reason infertility has come up, so you can prevent a lady from being going through such bad procedures. So now we'll be discussing a case of infertility which came up to me a few months back, when I was at my clinic. A 24-year-old female came up to me with the inability to conceive even after 4 years of marriage. She was having unprotected sexual intercourse since past 1.5 to 2 years, and she had completely she knew the complete training of, like, when you have to go through when there are best chances for ovulation, etc. So they used to try on that ovulation time as well, but there was no result. As her attendant described her complaints, because she came with her aunt. So she said that the patient wasn't allowed to participate in the religious activity because she was not able to conceive since past 4 years of her marriage. And the complaints, when you talk about what all complaints the women was suffering, she had difficult and painful intercourse, and there was burning in the vagina post intercourse as well as during the intercourse. She had dryness of vagina also, as well. Plus, there was also a marked symptom that the semen ejaculated immediately after the coition from vaginas. Like, it came out, and she felt that this is one of the reason which could be the cause of infertility. So on further investigating the case, after investigating the case, it was known that she was the youngest and the most pampered child of a family. I'm sorry, since childhood. And being studious, she was being sent to the city for higher education. Further investigating her mentals and all the past history, it came out that she had stage fear during her childhood days, and also she returned home for her sister's marriage from the city, and just to celebrate. But her sister married to some other guy, and the parents forced the the girl, to marry to that guy which was selected for her sister, because of their respect, so that their respect is maintained in the village. So she had to marry for her parents' respect. And then she was being told after the marriage that the husband was 10 years elder to her. So she was little shocked and disappointed. When asked about the couple bonding and etc. about the husband, she told that he used to fulfill all the needs and wishes of her, but sometimes he used to abuse. When he was being alcoholic, he used to have alcohol intake. So he used to abuse her sometimes after alcohol intake. And patient couldn't tolerate it. She used to go from there, and she preferred to live alone or go to the maiden house, because she couldn't tolerate to be scolded. This is her nature. On further investigating the case, it came up that the wife, I investigated about the menstrual history as well as the sexual complaints of wife and husband as well. So menstrual complaints were nothing. She just had a mild dysmenorrhea in the hypogastric region, which was tolerable. The cycle was regular 5 days, and sometimes she used to have discharge per vagina. Talking about sexual complaints, during the coition, she had burning and pain in vagina. There was dryness, which we already discussed in the first slide of the case. the frequency of caution they used to had 3-4 times a week. And other investigations, when investigated about ultrasound, about everything else, all the hormones, FSH, LH, testosterone, estrogen, and the FSH-LH ratio, the anti-Müllerian hormone, everything was completely normal. And the husband was also investigated further for the semen analysis, which came up to be normal. And plus he didn't have any premature ejaculation as well. Only the female complains that the semen ejaculated just after coition. And further it was asked, investigated what effect it has on the patient. I attended a webinar of Dr. Shankaran, Dr. Rajan Shankaran, everybody must be knowing it. This is my technique, this is my thing, that I usually take up good things from every other speaker, whatever seminars I attend, whatever speaker I'm listening to, whatever good thing I get, I try to copy that in my cases or while dealing with my cases. So he once said, it's long time back, I think my MD first year, he said that you should always ask the patient what is his feeling or her feeling because of his complaint. So you should always ask the patient what you'll get some marked symptom for sure in such cases when you are dealing with psychosomatic or sometimes the causes at the mental level. So you'll always find something unique, something individualistic in this question, that what is actually the feeling of the patient. So I further investigated what is her feeling, what does she feel, what is the effect of this infertility or this taboo or this thing on her. So she said that she had an anxiety to conceive, as everybody in the family, even the husband blamed her for not being able to conceive or get pregnant. The patient had to handle the anxiety of her husband as well, related to child and conception, and she was very much insecure. She was very much anticipation she had that the husband would leave her, not being able to conceive, or he may remarry somebody, or he may give divorce to her. And this was continuing the overthinking, like she always this led to continuous thoughts to her. And she was also being excluded from the few family rituals because she was considered barren, and she was very, very, very hurt because of this. And whenever she used to overthink about it, she always had continuous thoughts, which also led to migraine. This was a secondary complaint which came up because of all this which was happening to her since past 4 years. So she also had migraine since a few months because of this. So now what was to be treated in this case? Because of the psychological nature of this case, while taking the case, the acceptance and the non-acceptance inside about the conception or whatever whatever was being done to her, being barren. So infertility resulted, and infertility was due to maybe the physical cause was spilling of semen from the vagina, dyspareunia, dryness of vagina. And also migraine was to be treated along with all this thing, because this was the end result. This was the result of infertility or whatever was being happening to her. So next we come up with the patient as a person. So it was ruled out that patient had very sensitive, very much sensitivity to scolding. She was anxious about her future because she thought her husband would leave her, and she had headache due to overthinking. Migraine resulted. Fear of dark. She had fear of being alone, fear of ghost, fear of stage. She used to scream, or she also used to dream about such dream. She also used to dream she had many dreams, but she used to forget those dreams. She also said that she had there was aggravation whenever she used to move or go somewhere, the migraine aggravated when she was in motion or any due to movements, or whenever she used to go in sun. In physical, she had some craving for spices and aversion to sweets. And also she had, we already discussed this peronia, that she has a pain during coition, and she was a chili patient. The totality which came up was she was sensitive, reprimand to. When you talk about in the rubric language, she had fear of night, she had fear of ghosts, she had fear of being alone, dreams unremembered, she had craving for spicy, aggravation from, also she told that she had aggravation from fatty and oily food, migraine aggravated, sun aggravation, headache, and she had motion aggravation, coition, painful, and she was a chili patient. So the remedies which came in the repertorial totality, I think I missed the repertorial chart. We'll share if you want in further. I missed it. And the remedies which came up in the repertorial sheet, or the after as I repertorized very immediately, because this was a case in hand and I had to give the medicine that at the very moment. So it was repertorized, and the remedies which came up was natrum phos, calcarea carb, phosphorus. So seeing the symptoms, I differentiated between the remedies, the natrum phos and the calcarea carb. If you see, natrum phos is having sensitivity of mind, headache after mental exertion, emission of semen after coition, sterility. Again, it is a very great remedy for sterility. Chili patient, aggravation from oily food, sensitivity to cold, being chilly. And when you talk about calcarea carb is a very sweet, chubby person, fatty person. She was not fat at that moment, and she was not she was when you could talk about calcarea carb, the patient is obstinate and they desire for support because they are very sweet. Calcarea carb people are very sweet at a point. Very fearful. Again, it was a marked symptom in this case. Fearful, stage fear of ghost, etc. She had headache due to muscular strain. She the calcarea carb also is a great remedy for sterility with copious menses, with heavy menses. And maybe because calcarea carb being a psychotic remedy for growths, great remedy for growths. So if the cause is due to polyp or any growth or PCOD or such things, calcarea carb acts very good. For dysmenorrhea, it is very good and act well. Again, it is a chili patient and craving for sweets. But if you talk here, she had aversion to sweets. She had no such cause of psychotic nature. This was just a functional defect or functional thing which came up. She was not obstinate again, though she had anxiety, but she was not obstinate. She had fearful. But when you compare it to natrum phos, the maximum symptoms were being covered by natrum phos. So she was being prescribed natrum phosphoricum 200 for 3 days and at night and in a month. And she was continued with sacrum lactis 30 for the whole month. When she came to me after, we'll discuss. She was being called after every 15 days, but then I've just noted it after a month. She said that frequency of headache reduced gradually. Dyspareunia still persisted after a month as well. And for continuing, the natrum phos 200 was repeated again 3 days at night. So after 2 months, she said that headache was very much better, and dyspareunia was slightly better, but yes, she still had dyspareunia and ejaculation of semen. So she was then given natrum phos 1 mg for 3 days, and then followed by sacrum lactis 30, which again was repeated. A single dose was repeated on the in the fourth month, when she said that dyspareunia is much better, 60-50% better, and she didn't feel the ejaculation of semen as well. Only slight dyspareunia was present. So only a single dose of natrum phos 1m was repeated after 4 months for a single night. And then within 5 months of family counseling as well as treatment, she said that there was no spilling of semen, no dyspareunia, no such factors. And the UPT came positive after 5 months, and the patient conceived with natrum phosphoricum after 5 months of treatment. So it was again a very happy thing for the female, because after waiting for 4 years, she got this happiness, and it was a great case it was a great thing for her. So next we can discuss that if you talk about homeopathic medicines, there are more homeopathic remedies which are very effective, which I have seen very effective in the case cases of infertility. When you talk about females, laccan, sepia, natrum phosphoricum, which is already in this case, lycopodium, kaligab. Kaligab is a wonderful remedy. Silesia is also a great remedy when you have PCOD. Calcarea carb also. Thuja is again a great remedy. Pulsatilla as well. Apis as well. When you talk about males, so there are fluoric acid, lycopodium, silesia, natrum mur if you have an emotional cause. When you have emotional cause, if you talk about this selenium, again many remedies which come up for infertility. Sepia also in male infertile patients show great results. So when you talk about infertility, you can deal with such cases through homeopathic intervention, because homeopathy will actually escalate the blood flow to reproductive organs. They may provide favorable environment for implantation, for fertilization, and it also helps to increase the quantity as well as the quality of sperms in male fertility. If we'll discuss in the further webinars if we'll have any sessions about the male cases as well. I have few cases of males also, which male infertility as well, which improved in due course of time. And we should also, being a homeopathic doctor, homeopathic physician, we should always advise the patient with the general management, the counseling along with their medicine, because at times such things matter a lot. So when you deal with infertility cases, the general management you should follow like this. You should tell the females, the males about relaxation techniques, that you should relax, you should not overthink, you should maintain a healthy lifestyle, you should maintain a healthy diet, you should actively plan for solutions, you should not focus on the problem. Or you may take any psychological support or social support, or talk to your parents, talk to somebody in the family. And you should accept that there is something which you have to correct, and you should empower it and correct the things. So the conclusion for this short presentation, I hope nobody got bored. We can have discussions after this. So you should always, being a homeopath, you should always focus on the psychological, on the physical, as well as the social factors, because anyone can be the cause of infertility. Structural functional defect of the body, every doctor, every homeopath focuses, but you should always, being a homeopath, you should always focus on the psychological, physical and social factor as well. You should always try to select a constitutional deep acting remedy in cases of infertility with less of repetition, and check if there are any deficiencies of iron, magnesium, potassium. So if any biochemic remedy is to be used. I've seen cases when biochemics also help to make things better, and give the like ferrum phos, etc., which help to correct the deficiency. And you should always remember that infertility is a treatable condition, and couples should seek homeopathic advice at the very right time, because homeopathy can show miracles. Homeopathic treatment for infertility has been scientifically validated a number of times. You can check out on Google, on every other portal, on every other PubMed, ResearchGate, and many journals, index journals that say, that show various cases of infertility online, and this is always being scientifically validated. And you should read them and accept that homeopathy is emerging as a promising alternative treatment for infertility in women as well as men. Thank you so much. I hope I could give a good message through my presentation, and I could share a little experience with you all. For any further details, you can contact me and on my email ID. Thank you so much. I give the session over to Dr. Shweta, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Yashika, and the wonderful presentation. Very nice case presentation and approach. Also, it's not easy to manage this webinar with little baby and in difficult times. So we are so proud of you. And thank you. Both the presentation was so beautiful and enlightening. And we have with us Dr. Nupur, and she will be taking the questions. Dr. Nupur, do we have any questions for the speakers?
Yes, ma'am. So we have question for Dr. Sahani, sir. Dr. Anjana asked us kindly explain about emotion and cancer. Which emotion lead to which cancer? And please mention any specific book for the same study on emotions. Dr. Sahani, sir.
I think we have lost the connections. You can take another question till he joins again.
Sir is
Okay.
joined already. He's unmuted. Sir is there.
No, he's not muted. There's some issue with the connection.
I think he's logged out and he will be joining again. There is some issue.
Okay. So I would like to take question for Yashika ma'am. So here question for from Nagaraj Patil. Ma'am, please enlighten us about the remedies which are contradictory during pregnancy.
Okay, so Dr. Nagaraj, I think we had the session on infertility, and it is the question which is being asked is remedies which are contradictory during pregnancy. So it is all together after the infertility session when the patient becomes when the female becomes pregnant. But yes, I would be answering. It is a long topic, and it would be taking another session because there are so many remedies which are contradictory, which have some or the other factors during pregnancy. Like if you talk about pulsatilla, if you talk about apis, which we give, which remedies may show which remedies have symptoms for like you can say ki like pulsatilla, if you talk about, it is given, it is a very good remedy for amenorrhea. So when you do not have menses, it initiates uterine contractions. You have colophylum. So there are remedies which are contradictory during pregnancy, first few months of pregnancy, and which are very helpful in the last month of pregnancy. If you talk about pulsatilla, colophylum, arnica, arnica, it is just for the normal delivery. So if you talk about pulsatilla, colophylum, they are not good and not recommended in the first few months of pregnancy. But when you talk about 8th, 9th month of pregnancy, so pulsatilla in high potencies, silesia, and this colophyllum are being recommended to be given to the female for a normal delivery. So there are phases, you can say, when you talk about homeopathic remedies. For the first few months, you do not give simicifuga. It is a good remedy, but then you cannot give because it may lead to abortion. It shows a presenting symptom of this. It shows a presenting symptom in the plus pulsatilla also shows it is a very good remedy for the abortion during 3rd month of pregnancy. So such remedies are contradictory when you read source books and thing, and it all depends on the month of pregnancy. So yes, it would take another session to be discussed when you talk about remedies which can be used during pregnancy, of which month of pregnancy which remedy can be used. So I hope I am clear. Dr. Nupur, I think Dr. Sahani has also joined.
Sorry, the heavy rain is going on now. So
It's okay,
for
sir.
this, I got disconnected. Now I tried, but let's see how much I can continue. So
Yes.
I had heard about the first question, the relationship of the the question is very beautiful, that people now the feelings that which emotions are useful for the cancer. But just to explain this phenomena, I can just only say what cancer. Cancer, the word cancer itself is eating oneself, eating self. So all those emotions where you suppress your emotions, that means you try to hide, your emotions. This is very important. So your depressions, your sadness, and your anger. Anger is expressive. So outlet. When the emotions are suppressed, when you are not able to express your emotions, all those emotions are very useful related to the cancer. In most of the cancer cases, what I have felt, there was a patient of the liver cancer, and he was suffering from uh, so many problems. But when I looked at the mind, he was very slow speaker, very submissive in nature. He was very shy, and he's very mild. He appeared to be a very mild person. But when I went into his life, he started emotional. He became, and the tears came out, and so many other informations. And the beautiful medicines that I have, the insecure feeling, insecurity, mental insecurity, and because of this, so what you see, that this mental insecurity, and where the person is having eating oneself, they are tried eating oneself means eating your mind, eating your body, you are being fed, and this is the basic theme for the cancer. So I prescribed the medicines, and the arsenic was the medicines, and it worked well. Friends, because many of the informations that I have shared with you, some of the are taken from the literature and some from my own experience. But the literature, it needs more exploration, because now the science is looking for the psychological impact in what majority of the cases. What I feel talked about, that the patient living with the cancer for more than 60, up to the age of the 60 to 70, which happened at the little at the young age. So at that time also it was like that. So and it is only that I was able to manage the outlet for the was all area where mental blockage was there. So this was very important things that can be looked for, and definitely cancer is a mixed sorry, the problem with, I told you about the rain. So it is not only the one emotions, almost every emotions join, because whenever there is a problem in the life, when your mind is too much engaged, overthinking about the what is going to happen with me, so many expectations, anticipations, fear, they all confluence it. So if you can able to identify all those emotions together, you can identify a very beautiful. But if you try to find a medicine for the through the physical symptoms, I feel that it's very difficult to find out a medicines for the cancer in homeopathy. And myself, I have treated several cases of the cancer where many of the cases failed, but I got success only where I was able to uh, find out the emotional symptoms and the status of the mind in the business. So just try to correlate the different things. Where the person is eating himself, trying to destroy himself, because cancer is the word simply originated from eating the own flesh, own life. So this understanding, I feel, will help you to know the mental emotions of that cancer. Thank you. Any more?
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from Saida Sheikh. How many repetitions 0/1 of phosphorus given?
Ma'am, I've told you that the phosphorus, I didn't repeated it. I told you that I prescribed through my own way of prescribing the medicines, that is dipping the medicines, hair of the patient into the medicine, and that works. It is called the distance administration of the medicines from a distance. So it is remote sensing property. As we feel that all the medicines of the homeopathic medicines, which you call the homeopathic medicines, they are called homeopathic only because they don't have the material contents in them. They are the spirit-like entity. So how you can just imagine, it can affect from the distance also. And it has been experienced by Dr. Henneman himself, who writes in his Organon of Medicines also about the Organon of Medicines, or the medicines can be administered in different way, through the olfactions, through the tactuals, and through the mouth, and even through the mesmerism. So this is the understanding, and I tried with this phenomena, and I am getting better results with this. So there is no problem of repetitions. The one single dose, when I transmitted it, it continues the energy. The linkage is developed between the medicines and the patient, and they are always in constant touch of medicines. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So this question is for Yashika ma'am. Any organic pathic remedy for dyspareunia apart from constitutional remedy?
Okay, so I think this question is from
Muhammad Muzammil.
Yeah, so Dr. Mohammed, I would like to tell you that there are cases when you have to maybe one-sided diseases, or there are many various cases when you get less of symptoms, or very common symptoms in the cases when you're not able to find out constitutional remedy or individualistic remedies. So you have to go with organ specific remedies, or organopathic remedies, or a few common remedies that prove to be good in such cases, in the cases of infertility. So there are few medicines, you cannot call them as organ specific, but yes, they have a marked action on such organs. Like if you talk about on female organs or male sexual organs, like if you talk about platina, so it is a wonderful remedy for dyspareunia. It's if you talk about murex, again, if you talk about thuja, it is a good remedy. They specifically act on the sexual system. Murex as well, sepia, staphysegeria, great remedy. If you talk about Coliphylum again, platina is also seen as a very good remedy in such cases. So I think it depends on the case, and when we are dealing with the case, which remedies proves to be good, the commonly used remedies in such cases. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Only thing that
One
I can
question.
add to Yashika's reply about the organic medicines, organopathy, whatever you can say. But this is where that you have spoke nicely about mentioned by. But what do you think about whether this organopathy is a homeopathic type of prescribing, or it is just partially homeopathy? It is not fully homeopathy. So just only on the when we have, as you rightly told that when you have the lack of the symptoms, few symptoms are you are unable to find, at that time only opt for those things, but never to go for the organic or try to get the whole holistic constitutional medicines first. The first attempt should be there, and when you fail with that, then you can go for the other methods.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. One more question for Yashika ma'am. In case of infertility, all reports of both partner is normal. How we approach in that type of case? Question is asked by Dr. Anjana Rathore.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nupur. Dr. Anjana, ma'am, thank you for the question. I'm happy this question comes up. The case which we already discussed, there was no such abnormality seen in the reports, and it was I made it very clear how we can approach such cases. So whenever you have a case where you see no abnormality in the reports and you have some functional symptoms that are coming up, like dyspareunia was there, or dysmenorrhea, amenorrhea, or irregular menses, or there are other symptoms which may be seen in infertility cases. The cycle may not be regular. It depends on the pathology. PCOD patient may show acne symptoms as well as hair growth, or other patients may the polyp patients may show heavy bleeding or disturbed menses. So whenever there is no abnormality, we get some individual symptoms, individualistic characteristics of the patient. When you take the case, note the physical generals, note the mental generals, you go through the past history, you go through the life of the patient, after asking her whether it's at the physical level or at the mental level, that how they get married, how is their bond between them, and when do they perform intercourse, because that's a very important factor that you should always try whenever you are trying to conceive. So you should know the ovulation period, whenever there are best chances for the conception. And this is all included in the counseling afterwards. So you should always note all the marked symptoms, all the characteristic symptoms of the patient, individual symptoms, and then you should proceed with the analysis and take out the totality, and after giving the prescription or taking out the similimum remedy, you should always counsel and guide the patient and also manage them well. As already I discussed the general management, so I think you can proceed with such cases. Still, if you face any difficulty, you can always discuss with any of your colleagues. Whenever I am at some confusion, or whenever I feel that I am not able to find out what actually is the case, or how I can proceed with the case, I disturb my other homeopaths, my colleague homeopaths, my senior homeopaths, and I ask them what should I do in the case. This is my best technique whenever because being a junior and being a upcoming homeopath, or you can say I've been practicing since 5 years, 6 years. So it always experience do matter in many of the cases. So you can always ask the senior homeopaths that what should I do, and they'll guide you the best, because when you are not getting the click, the other experienced homeopath always give you the click. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one question from Shailendra Kumar. मैम, एक हस्बैंड शादी के पहले संबंधों में थे, अब शादी के 8 साल हो गए हैं, बच्चे नहीं हो रहे, वे वाइफ का इलाज करा रहे हैं, अपना नहीं, हस्बैंड का लाइको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लगता है, हाउ टू मैनेज द केस?
You need to counsel them. You need to counsel the husband. He has to accept it, because अभी हमने डिस्कस किया ऑलरेडी. मैं हिंदी में क्वेश्चन है तो मैं हिंदी में इस चीज का जवाब दूंगी. I hope everybody is fine with it. So जब आप एक पेशेंट को अप्रोच करते हो, वो अपनी वाइफ को लेके आता है, वो कभी भी मैक्सिमम हस्बैंड्स एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना चाहते, स्पेशली व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट रूरल एरियाज or less educated families. So it's like husbands do not want to accept that they are at fault. So you need to counsel. आपको counsel करना पड़ेगा being a doctor कि yes, आपको accept करना है कि कमी आपके अंदर है. जब wife के अंदर कोई कमी नहीं है तो आपको उस चीज को accept करना पड़ेगा, and then once he accepts it, you should proceed with the case, more further case taking, maybe lycopodium, maybe the best remedy or some other remedy, and you should prescribe it. Without taking without taking other case, I won't recommend that you should give lycopodium directly or indirectly. You should actually counsel, because the medicine tabhi maximum asar karti hai jab patient ka trust ho. Trust is always one of the more major factor when you are dealing with cases, when you are dealing with any case, because patient का आप पे trust ही आधा क्योर दे देता है. This is what I have learned in the practice. आप अगर उससे अच्छे से बात करोगे और उसको अच्छे से काउंसिल करोगे, आधी ट्रीटमेंट वही हो जाता है, उसका विश्वास वहीं बन जाता है.
Thank you, Dr. Yashika. And we had a very nice discussion with both of our honorable speakers. If the participants have more questions, they can email us at castudygroup@gmail.com. We will forward it to our speakers and we will let you know the answers. Thank you so much. So we would like to take the privilege to honor our speakers with Ka Appreciation Certificate. And
sorry to interrupt, ma'am. I think we have a high five from Dr. Daryani. He's with us.
Yes, we are very fortunate. Yes, we are very fortunate to have Dr. Daryani with us, and we would like to listen from him. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. It's my first experience to attend your webinar. It's because of my Yashika.
So you are not audible. Yes. Yes, sir.
Whatever say, your contributions to propagate homeopathy, I'm really glad to attend. Happy. Regarding speakers, both speakers were excellent at their own level. Dr. Sahani is Gurudev. There are no words for him to say, because once I said he is a Gurudev. Now, his conclusion was that physical ailments are due to mind, that is positive mind or the physical emotion. While the same thing, Dr. Yashika used the term psychological effect. How psychological effect? My point is also similar to that. Now, what is going on today's life? It is lifestyle disorder, what I believe. Because stress, suppressed emotion, failure, high emotions, and most common is because nuclear family. Now husband and wife are working and they are always busy with their work. Even they don't give any time to their children. Now the question is raised, how this can be met? Because today's lifestyle is like that, is stress, full of stress, suppressed emotions. Then it is the only thing that we should learn yoga, meditation. Until unless we will not improve this thing, habit will be not. Because it is the only solution to bring the positive thinking. Because every cell of brain is magnetized with the positive feeling, positive emotions, positive thinking, or the negative. Brain cells are just a magnet. They catch the negative as well as positive. So now one has to, and especially the corporate sector people. Number two, especially ladies are more affected. Females are more affected because of change of place. Earlier, she was born, brought up largely, and when she enters in the new life, means after marriage, it's an entirely different atmosphere. What she has been, that could be disappointment, it could be the humiliation, and ultimately I can say it could be the grief. But on the other aspect, when there is working woman, so this is always because of stress, expectations, emotions, to suppress the emotions. Now, I think I should not take your time. I'm thankful to Dr. Kavita because it is today's my first webinar to attend your, because of my tomboy Yashika. I love her and I used to call her the tomboy. And Gurudev itself is a learned person. It is very difficult to say anything about before him because he is Gurudev. Dr. Sahani, pranam.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are so happy to have you here. And now it's time to privilege or honor our speaker with Ka Appreciation Certificate. Please accept it from Ka Homeopathy Study Group. Let me share. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for your gracious presence and for your precious time in sharing your knowledge and wisdom. This is for you, Dr. Yashika. Congratulations to both the speakers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
You.
Now, with your permission, let me announce the upcoming August webinar that is on 20th August 2023 at 8:30 p.m. IST and 11 a.m. EST, US and Canada. We will have Dr. Krutik Shah, who will enlighten us on topic Dr. Henneman's digital organon of medicine. You can find the link to register at our website, kavitakhomeo.com. Don't miss the webinar. And heartfelt thanks to our viewers and followers to join us today. We have many such informative webinars lined up in the upcoming sessions with many more renowned homeopaths. For the upcoming webinar info or any other updates, follow our social media handles with the name Ka Study Group at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you missed any of the webinar, you can watch it out at our YouTube channel with the name Kavita Kukunur. And I'm very thankful to our Ka volunteer for their continuous support and selfless services with which we are able to organize these webinars in successful manner. For any other info, reach us at kastudygroup@gmail.com. And don't forget to fill the job form to receive your participation certificate. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you very much. Shall we end?
Yes, ma'am.
Namaskar,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you so much.